Hey, hey, hey. Time for another Out of This World story from rSpace. Welcome to the world of What Were They Thinking? Today on rSpace, when the cracks begin to show, there's always more hidden beneath the surface. Up first, the ink isn't the only thing that's sticking. Caught my girlfriend cheating on me with her tattoo artist. I finally ended it after the most clear evidence I've gotten. I've been suspicious of her for 8 months as she slowly stopped showing me affection and wouldn't even hold my hand when walking around stores like we used to do. When I first asked her why her tattoo artist was calling her during the dinner, around 8:30 p.m., and she quickly denied it and set her phone in silent mode. She stammered a bit and said that he probably wanted to check up on how her recent tattoo she had gotten was healing. I asked her why he would call that late at night, as it's after store hours, and she got mad and said that I was accusing her of cheating, which I denied, and that I in fact had said nothing of the sorts, and that I just thought it was weird. She got mad and I slept on the couch for a week. During the end of that week, I then saw some texts on her phone, just a notification pop up on the phone screen, and I read them, of him texting her inappropriate messages and her body, and how he misses her. She never shut him down or blocked him, which made me believe that she in fact had been seeing him behind my back, but I played it cool and pretended I didn't see them, so she didn't accuse me of going through her phone behind her back. And the final straw was when I came over for the weekend. We didn't live together. We traded weekends of visiting each other's places. I guess she forgot to change her phone background because I went to move her phone when I was shaving in the bathroom, and she has a picture of him with a caption saying, "I love you so much," with a picture as well. I confronted her about it, and she called me delusional, and that I was making it up until I showed her the picture I took of it with my phone. She just sat there and didn't say anything. And when I turned around to start packing my things, she started to cry and said, "What are you going to tell your family?" Obviously, I said, "The truth. It shouldn't matter to you anyways, because if you did care, you wouldn't have cheated on me to begin with." As I pulled out of her driveway, she had the audacity to text my family group chat that she loves them and that she's no longer going to be in their lives, and then left without telling them why, leaving me to explain what happened to my family while I was driving and on the verge of crying. It's been 3 days and I'm still hanging on, but I didn't have to work Friday and it's been terrible. I went and worked out for 2.5 hours today, and besides that, I've just been sitting here listening to music and wondering what I could have done to keep her loyal to me. I don't know what to do besides going to work, exercising, and getting healthy amounts of sleep. Update time. My cousin, who I've talked about in some replies, works with her ex, and he told her that she cheated on him in the past, and that is why they broke up. My cousin kept a watch on both her and his Facebook pages and found out this morning that they're now publicly in a relationship. I sent it to my family and all of our mutuals, and my best friends are leaving reviews on his tattoo business that he co-owns. I hope it drags them down. Update 2. She texted me and said how terrible she feels, and that she is a terrible person. She said he didn't know, and when she told him, his main concern was if we were completely broken up or if we were on a break. She kept trying to tell me that she's sorry and that she didn't mean to hurt me like she did. I just simply told her that the last week and a half, I felt like I'm going to throw up every second of the day, and a sorry isn't going to fix that, and then I blocked her. Now a couple community comments. First up, sorry man, she's a terrible human being and karma will get her. Send the screenshot in the group chat with the message, "This is why." Next comment, you should definitely send her family and friends a goodbye message too, and be sure to let them know it's because she's a liar and a cheater. One more coming at ya. Sorry man, after reading a lot of stories and hearing about cheating partners, I've come to the conclusion that you could have been the perfect partner in the world, and they can still somehow find the need to cheat emotionally or physically. And if they decide to do it, there's literally nothing you can do about it. They will make you be the problem, her sleeping on the couch, and will continue it even if they know that you are suspicious of it. Things will get better for you. It's maddening how someone can pull out all the excuses when you're just asking honest questions, then turn the tables to make you feel guilty for suspecting something. The whole, he was checking on my tattoo at night? Right. She knew exactly what she did, but instead of owning up, she wanted to look like the victim to everyone else. Good on you for handling it with your family and setting the record straight, OP. Do you have a similar story? Share it with us in the comments below. Up next, what are your sisters, if not to mediate the chaos? Am I the a-hole for wanting to leave my husband after discovering he had an affair with my sister? My sister, 32, moved in with me because she got pregnant 5 months ago from what she claimed was a one-night stand. I love my sister, so of course, I took her in. My husband is overseas for 6 more months, so it was nice to have her around because I care about her very much. On Monday, I came home and saw my sister and a strange woman in a screaming match on my doorstep. I obviously didn't know what was happening, but I saw the woman poking my pregnant sister's shoulder, so I intervened. I sent my sister inside, and she begged me to send the woman away. I didn't understand what was going on, but I wanted the altercation to end for everyone's sake, so I told the woman as much. Then she started screaming, asking me if I was also sleeping with her husband. I was like, what? And then she basically revealed that my sister had been having an affair with her husband for 5 years. 5 years! She had everything printed out. Chats, photos, emails, receipts. It was disturbing to see, and I didn't want to go through it all. But a few things were established. My sister knew about his wife. She knew she was the mistress and liked it. This woman was a stay-at-home mom to their 4 kids, one of whom has a severe disability from a car accident. Her husband knew about my sister's pregnancy and even took her on a baby moon to celebrate it. The affair had been going on the entire time, with my sister believing he would eventually leave his wife for her. My sister had fully embraced the role of being the other woman and was emotionally invested in the relationship, despite his repeated lies about leaving his wife. I told the woman I was very sorry and that I obviously didn't know, but I asked her to leave because this wasn't going anywhere, and I didn't want the neighbors to call the police. She was furious, but gave me her number on a post-it, begging me not to let her husband stay at my house. I assured her that no man was stepping foot in my home. My sister was begging me not to believe the woman, calling her a vindictive ex-wife. I told her, all right then, let's look up the marriage online. Let's see if a motion for dissolution of marriage was ever submitted. We fought hard. My sister kept saying I would never understand and that they loved each other, but he just couldn't leave his wife, blah, blah, blah. I called her dumb and naive. The next day, I told her she could stay here because I didn't want her to become a financial burden on that woman in any way, but I also told her that right now, I didn't want to engage with her. My sister asked me if I still loved her, and I told her honestly, right now, I can't say I do. I will always help my nephew and not endanger you, but I can't take you because you've shown me you're not a trustworthy person. I told her I didn't trust her not to try anything with my husband, and I didn't trust her with anything at all, so I made her sign a tenants agreement. She's been begging me to forgive her, and I told her there's nothing to forgive. I just don't know who she is anymore. Am I the a-hole? Let's get into some of the comments. First up, not the a-hole. You need to make sure she's out of your home before your husband comes home because you're right. You cannot trust her. The OP replies, I wouldn't worry. I trust my husband 100%. Not my sister anymore, though. I already told him and asked if she ever did something, and he said no. The next commenter says, not the a-hole. Your sister's behavior was vile and inexcusable. That poor woman and her children. Her husband is an absolute piece of crap. The OP replies, I said the affair started 5 years ago, right? Now guess when she, wife, and the kid got into an accident that left the kid disabled. Another commenter says, and your sister knew? She's a despicable person, and I'm amazed how strong you are for still keeping her housed with you, not the a-hole. The OP replies, she met the flicking kids. Took them to the zoo with the bastard. Someone else says, wow, that is severely ballsy. The OP replies, she wanted them to get to know her so she could hop right into the mom role as soon as he divorced his wife. Yeah, right. The OP's parents. They died 7 years ago. A commenter says, you should ask for pics so you know what this guy looks like, and arrange to get outdoor cameras at the least, so your sis isn't sneaking him around while you're at work. It should be grounds for eviction if she does allow him around. The OP replies, I saw him in the pictures his wife showed me. Also, I work from home at the moment, so no dice. Why OP lets the sister live with her? One of my reasons is that I don't want her to get an apartment on his dime when that money should go to his kids. Also, my nephew doesn't deserve to be homeless. The OP adds some more. She pays me no rent, so if he gives her spending money, then there is nothing that I can do. But living on his dime is an apartment he would pay for and possibly put in his name. Dangerous. Another commenter says, just curious, what does your husband say about this situation? The OP replies, he said that it is very disappointing she turned out to be like that, and said that it is difficult to trust her as she proved to be such a good liar. She is the one who helped me with the tenancy agreement and all. Another commenter has a thought that was downvoted. Yeah, that whole thing might just be so that she has tenant rights so that she can try to ruin your effing life. The OP replies, listen, you don't know which country I'm from. We got legal help and did this together with someone that actually has a clue. We save our butts like this. If not, that would be akin to squatters' rights in the US. Another commenter says, OP, what are you going to do once the baby is here? Assuming the dad wants to be in the kid's life at least somewhat, I think it's unreasonable to ban him from the house. The OP replies, if she wants him there, she can get her very own apartment. If she still wants to stay and save up for a baby, she has to adhere to my house rules. She is free to go and see him outside. And to another commenter, I put up my rules. If she wants to stay, she has to adhere to them. She has been told. She still has 4 months to make that decision. If she wants him physically with her after birth, she can do that, but not in my house. How the wife got OP's address. She got the address from his phone. You're not the a-hole here at all, OP. It sounds like you're trying to protect your nephew while also keeping a clear line between your sister's choices and what you're willing to tolerate in your own home. You've made it clear she's responsible for her own choices moving forward. You've created a fair and stable environment where your sister can take responsibility without dragging you further into the mess. Update post, September 24th, 2024, 5 days later. First, I'd like to clarify a few things. I'm not going to tell my sister to get rid of the baby. That's not my place, and I would never suggest such a thing. Also, I am not going to install tracking software on her phone or demand access to all her devices. That's invasive and wrong. I've been thinking a lot, and while I can't say that I don't love my sister, it's very hard to feel that love right now. I don't know who she is anymore. It's not just that she lied to me. It's what she did and how convinced she is that she was justified because they were in love. She has brought chaos into my home that I opened up to her. I'm deeply disappointed in her and I just don't like her at the moment. I'm letting her stay with me because I don't want her to become dependent on him. I don't think he's a good man either. And as a social worker, I've seen these scenarios too many times. My sister is already deluded. I don't need to open the door to a dependency that's also financial. Now on to the update. I haven't been punishing my sister, but I've been treating her like a roommate. This is driving her crazy. She's begging me to go back to how things were before, but I can't. I told her that I need time and that things can't just return to normal overnight. She tried to explain how it all happened. She admitted that she always knew he was married, but believed she could tell how unhappy he was and felt he deserved to be happy. They met at a bar a few weeks after his son's accident. He told her that his wife hadn't touched him since it happened and that he was about to explode. I asked her why she would involve herself with a married man, knowing that the hurt it would cause. She said she wanted to be a wife and a good mom, and that included his kids. She had hoped he would divorce his wife so they could all move on and finally be happy together. I just stared at her, unable to comprehend how she could rationalize her actions. A few days later, he appeared at our house, claiming he had left his wife and wanted to be with my sister. I told him to leave immediately or I would call the police. My sister was furious with me, accusing me of ruining her chances at happiness. I made it clear to her, if he comes over again, I will evict her. She's free to date anyone she wants, but not under my roof. I also told her that if she plans to have him around after the baby is born, she'll need to find her own place. Word has gotten around our community about the affair. While we were grocery shopping, a woman even spat on my sister. Many of her friends have cut ties with her, calling her a homewrecker. Some are married themselves and don't want her near their husbands. I haven't said, I told you so, even once. We unexpectedly ran into his wife at a local cafe. My sister wanted to apologize and suggested that maybe they could all have a good relationship for the sake of the kids. The wife laughed coldly and said, You made your choices, but now live with them. Don't expect me to make this easier for you. My sister is devastated and has been lying in bed ever since. I'm taking care of her physical needs, making sure she eats, stays hydrated, and attends her prenatal appointments. But I can't bring myself to comfort her emotionally. I just don't have it in me right now. Now let's get some comments from the community. First up, is your sister mentally sound? She seems to be living in a fantasy world, not the a-hole. The OP replies, I don't think she is having a psychotic break. I think she's in too far, and now she has destroyed her life. She is trying to make it work. Another commenter says, To get in this far, she can't be a good person, and neither can he. They're both so insanely selfish that they put getting laid over destroying his kid's family and home. I feel horribly for that child. Its parents are trash. The OP replies, "That has also been my thoughts." Yet another person chimes in. "I asked the last time and wasn't answered. How did your sister make it to 32, if I remember correctly, and wasn't living with you? Was she working? Why did she immediately stop working the second she found out she was pregnant? If she didn't, why did she give up her apartment and move in with you?" A 32-year-old living alone had some way to support herself, and people just don't quit their jobs overnight because they got pregnant, unless it's because they're in a stable relationship and the partner was willing to support them, in which case, again, moving in with you would not be necessary. You talk about not being financially dependent on him, but now she's financially dependent on you? Why would you agree to allow her to become financially dependent on you, and why would you accept the cost of caring for an adult and her child just because it's your sister? If she's not working, she should absolutely not have the kid, and you should absolutely not be bearing the brunt of her bad decisions. The OP replies, "I had quite a few, so I don't believe I read yours. Or at least not fully. I answered someone who asked something similar. Yes, she has a job. She moved in with me to save up for her baby. She is on maternity leave. Her job is not super high paying. I'm not responding to the rest of the comment as it seems more aggressive than helpful." To a downvoted commenter saying that it's not how maternity leave works in the US. "Good thing we are not in the US. Neither the UK." To another ruder commenter. "Yeah? You get 100% of the pay for 6 months. After that, 80% or something like that for 6 more months. And I think 50% if you go over a year. Also, notice why I said not super high paying? In response to someone calling BS on someone spitting on her. The commenter said, "I was spit on multiple times growing up because I was a bastard. I received a lot of hate because my brother was an unwed teen mom. Random people, teachers, churchgoers, good chunk of so-called family. Small towns suck, more than I can say." The OP replies, "They go pretty hard in the name of Jesus. Hypocrites if you ask me." When asked where OP lives, "I won't say, but we are quite religious here. Old women think they are the law and all that." A commenter claims, "Holy crap, someone spit on her? What are you people, Amish?" The OP replies, "Catholic." Another commenter says, "He had appeared at our house, claiming he had left his wife and wanted to be with my sister." Sure, he left his wife after 5 years. Coincidentally, at the moment she discovered everything. I'm completely sure it's not the wife who dumped him. The OP replies, "I think the same thing." One more commenter says, "Your sister really is a piece of work. What did you expect would happen once news of the affair got out? If it weren't for the fact that she's pregnant, I would have put it past someone to do more than spit at her. The child is going to grow up hated by affair partners soon to be ex and their children." The OP replies, "I think worse is coming to her. I know our town. That's why she mostly stays in right now." Someone alleges OP is only blaming the sister and not the affair partner. I blame him. He's a horrible man with no morals. He couldn't even wait for his son to be out of the hospital to start an affair because his ballpark wasn't getting scratched by his wife, who was also in the accident. I hate him. I hate him so badly that I resent that he exists, but he's not in my life. I didn't know him. He has no cards in my game. I'm so mad at my sister for not only effing up her life, but also bringing chaos in mine after I opened my home to her. I'm mad she lied to me for 5 years, but most of all, I'm disgusted with her horrible selfish actions. She wasn't lured into this. She knew from the beginning that she was a mistress. She knew what she was doing. She knew it was wrong, and yet she kept doing it and lying through her teeth. I don't know who she is. Your sister seems to have truly bought into the fantasy that her happily ever after is just one misunderstanding away. But you've been clear as day. This is real life, and actions have consequences. She wanted to believe she was the one to make him happy. Delusional. It sounds like the community is delivering its own judgment too, which may be a hard but necessary wake-up call. What do you think of this? And thank you for joining us today on rSpace. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. See you soon!